Lauren Arnold is smart, beautiful, and amazing. She's talented and has a wonderful and supportive family. She looks and sounds just like any typical young lady. But what she reveals about herself is anything but typical. Lauren sat down with me to talk about a decision that really cost her. Thank you, Lauren, for being on the show. We really appreciate you coming down to BuzzKlub. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I guess I can pretty much kind of start from the beginning. I worked as a teller for a bank here in Philadelphia, and worked there for about a year. And in 2008, just part of the lifestyle I was living, I wasn't in school at the time. I just thought that, I'd just be out partying, go to work, party. I came across an individual who I allowed to convince me to do something that was terribly wrong. And I knew it was wrong, and I did it anyway. And as a result, I am now a convicted felon. And just the struggle that I've had to deal with from whether it be like peers or trying to now find a job, be a mother to my 2-year-old son, it's just all pretty much been a struggle, but something that I'm trying to work through because I know that I have a story to tell, and I can definitely impact a lot of lives, the story that I have.
What exactly were you accused of at the bank? What were your accusations? What were you under? What were you facing?
It was identity theft charges, what I was facing, and I had no idea like what that even meant. Like what I had done, I didn't even equate it with that because I didn't even know, what exactly that was. I don't have any criminal background, no criminal history, never been arrested before, not familiar with the criminal justice system and how it works, so it kind of is like getting thrown into a pit of unknown because you don't know what's going to happen next. People can tell you what they might think will happen, but you never actually know what is going to be the outcome of it. So,
Lauren was being charged by the U.S. District Attorney's Office with 1 count of conspiracy and 10 counts of aggravated identity theft. The charges leveled against Lauren were extremely serious. Reading a little bit over your case, I saw that what you were facing, you could have went to jail for about 25 years. Mm-hmm. How long did you end up going?
I actually went for 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
8 months. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which felt, I would say, is a definite blessing because I do realize that, it could have been longer. Should have been longer, for what I did, my actions, but I believe that I was blessed in my situation, and to do the 8 months in there, to me, felt like an eternity. And I can't speak for anyone that has done a lot of time, a lot of jail time, but just to be away from your family, apart from me, my son. I had a 9-month-old son at the time, the day I had to self-surrender. To be apart from him every day felt like an eternity. Yeah. So, yeah.
What was your first night in jail like?
My first night was scary. I didn't have the ability to talk to any of my family. It just was like in a room with complete strangers, women that you don't even know nothing about, but now you're forced to live with them, get along with them, and do your time. That's all you could do.
Lauren, can you take us back to the day when you were arrested?
Well, I was never really arrested. I just got terminated from the bank, and then from there the process took off where I was always told pretty much what would happen next. I had to, of course, tell my family, told my mom first, and that was the hardest thing I had to do.
Really, how did that make you feel?
It just, I lost a lot of trust that was formed there. Me and my mom have a very, very good relationship. She's like, if not my best friend. And this I would say would be like one of the few times that I didn't tell anything to her, like during the whole time that I was doing this. I never mentioned anything about who this person was, like who, it was just a big secret. And when I had to divulge that to her about what I did, it was just, she just didn't, know how to take it, because she couldn't believe it, because it was unbelievable to a lot of people, even myself. Like I look back and that wasn't me at all. Like, and what was I thinking? So pretty much, like, it was very hard, and I had to get back that trust with her, and even get back that trust with my family. Of course, not everyone found out right away. We tried to keep it under wraps just because we didn't want everyone knowing about it. Not that it was a big secret, but just to keep everyone okay. Like, we didn't want to upset anybody. And but then it got printed in the paper, and that's when everyone found out. And then it was on the internet, and from there, to me, it felt like the whole world found out, even if they didn't even know about me. Strangers now couldn't know about this, but it's something that I had to deal with. It's a decision that I decided to make, so it was out there.
Did your perspective about was your perspective about prison the same, or before you went in, or after? Was it completely different after you left?
It was completely different after I left. I don't say I really even had a perspective on prison before I went. I'm not far from normal, but
it kind of was your
definitely
norm.
Not what you would imagine. Like I definitely pictured like a worse case scenario, like, and it was bad,
but it wasn't.
But it was doable, and I know it was doable because it was something that I had to do. And I didn't have any choice. So it's when you first get there, it's a shock of, am I really here? Is this really? But then I had to get a grip and just do it. So,
who was one of your greatest supporters through this whole process?
Definitely my mother. Like I said earlier, she, from the time I divulged the information, like, instead of I would say turning her back on me, and which she could have, the women that I met when I was away, so many didn't have any family. Like, their family didn't want anything to do with them anymore. But my family and my mom, the most, she just wanted to know why. Like, why I didn't tell her, what was going on. Not, how could you do... It was, why didn't I just come to her and talk to her about it? And that was one of the things that I regret. Not saying anything to her at all, let alone this whole situation, even making a decision to do that. But the fact that any other time in my life I would share with my mom the things that were going on with me, and at that point that I did not say anything to her. My mom confronted me many a times, even before the situation took place, about the lifestyle that I was leading. Too much partying, too much staying out late. Like, she told me, you need to quit it. And I, at that time, thought I knew everything. I was 20 years old at the time that the incident happened, but it started for me at maybe 18, 19, the partying, going out and everything. As the lifestyle, especially in the city, it makes you want to do, makes you want to just get out there and party. There's always a party, always something going on, but you never think that something negative can happen from it. It can't
happen to me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You never think, before this time, I never thought that I would come across any bad type of people, if you know what I mean.
You're kind of naive in a sense.
Yeah, that everyone is good, everyone has good intentions, and that's the way that I thought. Because nothing ever really bad had happened to me. I didn't understand that. Everyone, people might do bad things, but but there are bad people out in this world, and. With bad intentions. And
Lauren, so you were sentenced by yourself. but you didn't necessarily commit the crime by yourself. Do you know what happened to the individual who kind of coerced you in a sense?
No, I do not know what happened to him. I don't know of any sentencing, any, conviction of him. And then in a sense, too, I haven't even been paying attention to it. I kind of just want to forget about it, because I feel like that person is not important. Yeah. Like, I don't want to say it could have been any person, but it's many people out there like that. Yeah. So I feel like it's just not even relevant to even say, what's going on, because I'm not worried about it anymore. Whatever happens. I can't be involved, in that anymore. I just know what's going on with myself and what I'm trying to do and how I'm trying to come out of the situation. What is the point of living if you're just going to dwell on a mistake that you made in your past? You have to move forward. Like I said, make the wrong right. And I just feel like, I hope that people now that know me would say I'm still that kind, genuine person, still the same Lauren that
Boogie
back in high school, still love sports, still play sports, still try to do what I can to be a good person. So,
Lauren, when were you released from prison?
I was released June 3rd of last year, 2011. I was released.
How was that for you coming home?
That was mixed emotion. Of course, ecstatic that I'm out of there, but I also made a decision to go to a halfway house instead of coming directly home. And my family was against it. They didn't want me to go to the halfway house, but I kind of wanted to be selfless instead of selfish, because I felt like if I stayed where I was at, it would just been more road trips for my family coming to see me in Connecticut, 3 hours away. Wow. More the strain on my son. He was 1 at the time. Just having him to see me in that environment, I really didn't, even if he didn't understand what was going on, just to know that, he would have to eventually say bye. It was hard. Like, it was hard. And so I decided to come to a halfway house where the conditions weren't the same, and it just was a shock to me that I went from something else to now maybe even a worse scenario, another decision that I made. But I thought that it would be easier on my family. Well, at least they can see me right here in the city, and it wouldn't be that long for me to be in there. So once I was out of that, it was completely like, okay, now I'm free in a sense to be in my own home, in my own surroundings, being able to see my son, my family right there. Nobody else is watching me. It was getting your freedom back. That's what it feels like. So I wanted to give back, even though I know I couldn't all the time that I miss with my son. So I wanted to, in a sense, spend every moment with him, like, just to watch him. Like, even if we didn't do anything at all, just to sit there and watch him and see how he has grown. And even though, 8 months is not a long span for a child, it is, because I miss first steps. I miss first birthday, like, things that I will never get back. But, you just have to enjoy the time that you have now. So, yeah.
Where are you now?
Now I'm working, trying to get back on my feet, trying to find different avenues that I can go down that will help me, to help my family, so that I'm not just sitting here stagnant, not doing anything, because I know that I have the potential to do a lot of great things. So I'm always trying to find that better job. Eventually I want to go back to school. Like I said, I have 2 years completed. I want to get my degree. I have to get my degree, so it's
You will
just
get your degree.
so that's where I am now, just trying to, and I believe it's coming along. You know, it wouldn't happen overnight for people to just get out of this situation and then just to jump back up. Like, on the outside, things might look or appear to be okay, but sometimes they're not. Everything's not okay, and it's just been a struggle, but I'm moving through it, moving forward. So
Thank you, Lauren.
you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Be sure to watch more of the BuzzKlub every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. on Philadelphia's Comcast, Channel 66, and Verizon, Channel 29.